Amid the turmoil and violence of the Vietnam War, American soldiers began decorating their helmets with intricate and often striking artwork, offering a form of personal expression that conveyed messages of patriotism, camaraderie, and even protest. These helmets have since become powerful symbols of the human experience of war, providing insight into the thoughts and emotions of those who lived through it. The study of Vietnam War helmet art is both fascinating and thought-provoking, shedding light on the intersection of art, history, and human psychology. Although the tradition of decorating military helmets dates back centuries, it was during the Vietnam War that the practice truly flourished. While soldiers were technically prohibited from personalizing their gear, most commanding officers allowed some individuality, provided it did not reflect poorly on the unit or the military branch. Despite this leniency, soldiers were still cautioned to avoid photographers and journalists. As the war dragged on, some helmet designs began to express anti-war sentiments, either consciously or subconsciously. The designs on these helmets varied widely, ranging from simple initials and unit insignia to elaborate illustrations and slogans. Some soldiers painted scenes of home or their loved ones, while others depicted violent or provocative imagery. One of the most famous examples is the death card design, popularized by the 1st Cavalry Division. Featuring a skull with wings and the phrase, "When I die, I'll go to heaven because I've spent my time in hell," this design became a symbol of the division's fierce fighting spirit and was adopted by other units. Common slogans included "War is hell," "Kill a commie," for mommy, "War is good business, invest your son," and "Hear all evil, see all evil, kill all evil." The peace symbol design, featuring a dove or the peace sign, was widely used by soldiers who opposed the war, many of whom were conscientious objectors or protesters drafted into military service. Other designs were more personal, featuring family members, pets, or hometowns. These images served as reminders of what soldiers were fighting for and what they hoped to return to after the war. Still, others displayed humorous or irreverent slogans, reflecting the soldiers' need to find humor amidst the chaos and horror of war. While helmet art was an integral part of the Vietnam War experience, it was not without controversy. Some military officials viewed it as a distraction or a violation of protocol, and in some cases, soldiers were ordered to remove their helmet art or face disciplinary action. Despite these concerns, helmet art remained a beloved tradition among many soldiers throughout the war and beyond. The Vietnam War exacted a tremendous human toll, with estimates of Vietnamese soldiers and civilians killed ranging from 966,000 to 3 million. An additional 275,000 to 310,000 Cambodians, 20,000 to 62,000 Laotians, and 58,220 US service members also lost their lives in the conflict. The war's end led to the Vietnamese boat people crisis, as millions fled Indochina, with an estimated 250,000 perishing at sea. After the Khmer Rouge took power in Cambodia, they carried out a genocide, and conflict between them and Vietnam escalated into the Cambodian-Vietnamese War, which ended with the fall of the Khmer Rouge in 1979. China's invasion of Vietnam in response triggered border conflicts that lasted until 1991. In the United States, the war gave rise to the phenomenon known as Vietnam Syndrome, a public aversion to military involvement overseas. This, coupled with the Watergate scandal, contributed to a broader crisis of confidence throughout the 1970s. Conservative thinkers, particularly within the military, argued that the US had the necessary resources to win, but had been undermined by opposition at home. Journalist Norman Podhoretz wrote in commentary, "Do we lack power? Certainly not if power is measured in brute terms of economic, technological, and military capacity. By those standards, we are still the most powerful country in the world." The issue boils down in the end, then, to the question of will. The term Viet Minh syndrome gained widespread use as a shorthand explanation for the United States' failure to defeat North Vietnam, despite being a global superpower. Many conservative voices, including Ronald Reagan, agreed with Podoret's assessment, and the term grew to represent the fear that America might never win a war again and was in a state of inevitable decline.